I'm ready. Well, I think hopefully these problems worked out. We'll see. Anyway, right now we're in the 27th minute. Still nobody has scored in this ball game. So while we're having technical problems, both of these teams were having scoring problems. I'm not sure what happened there because everything seemed to be working okay, and then all of a sudden we got a message that we were no longer going out over the airwaves or the YouTube waves or whatever you call it. 28th minute, no score yet in this ball game, and the Hilltoppers right now are they are defending the east goal. This field runs west and east and west, and so that means in the second half, Nate Jackson will not be looking. He'll have the sun behind him right now. He has the sun. He's essentially pretty much looking into the sun, but in the second half he'll be on the other end. So anyway, the ball had gone out of bounds. It took him a little while to shag that one down, and so now the Hilltoppers do pick it up. It's going to come down the right sideline, and with it for the Hilltoppers is Aaron Phillip. And it's kicked out of bounds, picked up. The Hilltoppers, Isaac Ortega will inbound it, and Lewis lost out of bounds by Santa Fe. Hilltoppers will have the inbound, and they're about 30 yards up from the flag on the right side of the field. Brought into Vera Hatinga. Hatinga will bring it up to Isaac Ortega, and finally stolen away by Santa Fe, and then they lose it over the end line once again, or the sideline once again. So they're going to bring it now to Aaron Phillip. Phillip, he gets a through ball in, and it's over toward the left side of the penalty box, but coming out to scoop it up is their goalie, and Ethan Ernest. And a long kick upfield by Ethan takes a one bouncer picked up there by Abera Hatinga. Hatinga will bring it back he starts to bring it into Hilltopper territory and then turns around and scoops it over on the other side of the field to Nick Mazorski. Mazorski, he backs it up, and then right now there's a battle for it right at midfield, and finally the Toppers win that, and they're going to bring it back to one of their fullbacks. Now they're going to bring it over now to Isaac Ortega. Ortega coming down the right sideline, actually directing traffic, now centers it. And that one they're going to bring over to the left side, and and a great shot that time. Let's see. And a great shot that time by Phil Delzano, and it looked like it got by everybody. Ethan Ernest he just laid himself out. Boy, because that looked like it was dead end. But he just kind of laid himself out. He shot it from the left side trying to go to the right side. But he actually ended up aiming it toward the left side a little. And then Ethan Ernest, they to just lay it out and boot it away. And it ends up going over the end line off of Los Alamos. So right now, after Ethan finally gets control of the ball, so I don't know, I'm getting a message here on the screen of the computer, but apparently it's not affecting us. It looked like it did last time. But anyway, ignore that. Sorry for all the problems we're having here. 30 minutes ago, we are in the 31st minute, still no score in the ball game. And the Hilltoppers trying to get on the attack. It is stolen away by Santa Fe. The Hilltoppers now trying to put some pressure on down the left sideline. And Phil Delzano has the ball kicked away from him right at the flag. And he's indicating it's a throw-in for Los Alamos. And the The official says no, it's a throw-in for Santa Fe, and Phil kind of arguing with the official a little, and I agree with Phil. That certainly did look like it was off of Santa Fe. Now it's off of the Hilltoppers again, and it's going to be about 15, 20 yards deep into Santa Fe territory. And so, no, they're going to call a violation on Los Alamos. It's going to be a free kick by Santa Fe. And they bring it up, and Santa Fe loses it out of bounds right at midfield. So the Hilltoppers will inbound it pretty close to the substitution flag, and then they lose it out of bounds. They're going off of Alex Livskew. Livskew trying to get to it, could not. Santa Fe heading it down the right sideline right now. And it's going to go over the end line, and that's going to be off of Santa Fe. So they'll bring it over to Jackson Martinez, and he'll take the goal kick for Los Alamos. So kind of a short kick is going to come down short of the midfield circle. The Hilltoppers pick it up, bring it over onto the left side. Comes down to Nick Mazorski. Mazorski trying to get something going. And if he can get something going, because he's unbelievably fast and a great ball handler, but the Hilltoppers just haven't been able to really get much going. There hasn't been much an attack on either one of the goalies here in this ball game. We are now in the 33rd minute, still 0-0. And this is exactly what we had last week in the game against Capital. But Santa Fe now steals it away, and then they try to get it upfield this time to Boone Schaefer. Schaefer can't get to it, and it's just going to roll right to Jackson Martinez. He picks it up, and then he just rolls it out to out to Callum Mitchell. Oh, God, wait a minute. Correct, out to Aaron Phillip. So let's see, it's out of bounds off the Hilltoppers, so Santa Fe will inbound it. And doing the honors for Santa Fe will be James Vigil. And we're going to have a substitution for Santa Fe. Right now they're 30 yards deep in, so working down that left sideline, they're about 25, 30 yards out from the flag. Inbound pass stolen away by Los Alamos, and trying to steal it back. Santa Fe, they cannot. So it's going to be picked up there by Los Alamos, and Aaron Phillip bringing it up for Los Alamos. Passed down the right sideline as they were trying to get it upfield to Isaac Ortega, but intercepted by Santa Fe. Santa Fe now working with it in their own territory, and still over on that sideline. They try to go up the right sideline. Hilltoppers bring it back down their left sideline. And now the ball out of bounds right at the substitution flag. They try to get it into Nick Mazorski. Mazorski can't get to it. And so it's kicked off of right now. The Santa Fe just kicks it off of Alex Livskew and out of bounds. Santa Fe just immediately picks it up, makes a quick throw in down the right sideline. And another scrappy battle for it there on the sideline, won by Santa Fe. Now they're going to bring it over onto the left side to James Vigil. Vigil trying to come down the left sideline with the pass over to Boone Schaefer. Schaefer has the ball stolen away from him, but he's going to be able to get it back and get it over to Silas Ropp. Ropp has it stolen away. Now the Hilltoppers down the right sideline trying to get it to Isaac Ortega, and ends up going over toward the right side of the penalty box, and Ethan Ernest just comes out and scoops it up. 36th minute. 2 40-minute halves here in this ball game. Long kick, and that takes a high bounce, and so Los Alamos having a lot of trouble getting to it, and it's going to go over the end line. But boy, coming in, in a hurry, as he just kind of broke through and broke by everybody. Having trouble seeing his number because he has very long hair completely covering his number. But okay, that's Oliver Miller. Usually have that problem with the girls' ponytails, but I thought that one off of Los Alamos it was going to be a corner kick, but no, they ruled it was off of Santa Fe, and boy, I didn't see that. I thought that was certainly off of Los Alamos. So, and Los Alamos ends up with a goal kick. They bring it upfield, still working with the ball. They're going to bring it over to the left sideline, and it's going to go out of bounds off of the Hilltoppers. So it'll be a throw-in for Santa Fe. Down that left sideline. Picked up there by the Hilltoppers and charging through for Los Alamos and trying to get something going. And right now the ball over into the way to the left side of the penalty box. The Hilltoppers trying to set something up and the Hilltoppers. Well, let's see. I think they do end up getting that in the goal, and that was number 4, and I don't have a number 4. And so, well, are they going to say, nope? No, okay. There was all the kind of indications that they had scored. Everybody started walking back up the field like they usually do, but no, they finally, when they shagged down the ball, they're going to say it's a goal kick. So. But I thought sure that he had put that in. Well, anyway, 37th minute. And we're going to roll over right now into the 38th minute. Time on the field is unofficial. And I need to find out who number 4 is. So Santa Fe, Hilltoppers on the attack. Sam Sirigliano with a shot, and in the goal for Los Alamos. And so, it was Sam Sirigliano, and I think Sirigliano actually, he started to go with it, and then I think he passed it over to Isaac Ortega, and I'm pretty sure Isaac was the one that got the goal. So, but Sam doing a good job, so it was either, I'll have to find out, but it was either Sam Sirigliano who came down that left side, and it looked like he was the one that fired it, and then they were kind of congratulating him and Isaac at the same time. They were all hugging, and sometimes we can't see who scores the goal, so we kind of wait to see who everybody runs over and hugs. So it was either Isaac Ortega or Sam Sirigliano, and I'll try to find out who did get that goal. And they've stopped the clock right now at 36:59, which well, they normally usually stop it at 38:00, and the last 2 minutes are unofficial. The whole clock, the clock on the field is completely unofficial anyway. But right now, anyway, Los Alamos does lead 1-0 in this ball game, and we're in the final 2 or 3 minutes, a couple of minutes, unofficially in this first half. Hilltoppers deep in Santa Fe territory. And the sun now has just set, and so it's getting that little dusky pall over the field right now. And so the Santa Fe trailing 1-0 right now, and I thought they were going to roll it back to their goalie, but the fullback picks it up, and for Santa Fe and coming upfield. Passes, they try to get it up now to Boone Schaefer, cannot get it to him. Stolen away by Abera Hatinga. Hatinga has Boone Schaefer battling with him, and so he steals it away from Boone. Boone steals it away from Abera, and they just kept taking turns. So the ball goes out of bounds, and let's see who they're going to indicate. I think it's going to be a throw-in for Santa Fe, and about 10 yards up from the flag on the right side of the Santa Fe goal. Now they keep moving him up. Now he's about 20 yards up from the flag. Keeps walking, and so there's I do believe is the whistle, and that will do it, and that will bring this first half to a close. Los Alamos leading in this ball game 1-0. So we are going to take a break. Give me a chance to catch up a little bit here, and then we'll be back in a little bit. And with the second half, but right now we're going to take this little broadcast break. And We'll be back. So we are back, and got a few things caught up at least, and that's the fact that, first of all, the number 4 is he just got added to the roster today. So the roster that we had, of course, he wasn't on there. His name is Jaime Terrazas, and he's been playing quite a bit out there. And then we did finally get figured out who the goal was. Sam Sirigliano took the shot, and then it was in traffic back, and so the ball actually was blocked away from going in the goal, but right there was Isaac Ortega for Los Alamos, and then all he had to do was just a little soft touch into the goal. So Sam Sirigliano with a beautiful assist, and then Isaac Ortega with the score, and the Hilltoppers lead 1-0 in this ball game, and we're about ready to go for half number 2, and Santa Fe, of course, will kick off to start things off here for half number 2, trailing 1-0 to the Hilltoppers. The Hilltoppers who scored late in the half. It looked like for a while nobody was really pouring it on, and then all of a sudden Santa Fe, Los Alamos with a nice attack. They got it over on the left side of the penalty box, right by the corner. Sam Sirigliano with a hard shot, and then got away from Santa Fe from Ethan Ernest. And then, but right there was Isaac Ortega just to tip it in. So a nice assist by Sam Sirigliano and a score by Isaac Ortega. It's a 1-0 lead as we start this second half. 40 minutes remain here in this contest if we don't end up with a overtime. But so Santa Fe will kick off. And the sun has set here. Long kick downfield. It's going to be picked up there by Santa Fe, and now Santa Fe coming in the other direction, trying to get up to Boone Schaefer. Schaefer has it stolen away from him. The Hilltoppers now coming down to the Hilltoppers are trying to get some kind of an attack going. Weren't able to really get control. Long kick down the right sideline. That is being chased down there by Santa Fe, by Jack Joseph. Joseph clears it back out. Santa Fe now playing with it about 10 yards out from the top of the penalty box, right in the middle of the field, and and right now everybody trying to go for the ball. Aaron Phillips there, he looked like he was dancing with Silas Ropp, and so finally the ball is finally cleared out by the Hilltoppers, and throw in by Santa Fe, stolen away by Los Alamos. Comes up now to Alex Livskew. Livskew down the right sideline. That is brought out in there to the top of the penalty box. Battle for it there. And Roman Del Rio wins the battle, and then a nice left-footed kick by Roman. And from about 10 yards out from the top of the penalty box over on the left side comes right to Jackson Martinez. Boy, beautiful boot by Jackson this time. High arching ball, and that's going to come down to Aaron Phillip. Phillip trying to get a hold of it, cannot, but it is then stolen. And then here comes Jaime Terrazas, so at least we know who he is now. And he's going to get it to Aaron Phillip. Phillip, bring it over to Jaime. Jaime battling with it for one of the players from Santa Fe. They're going to call Jaime for a ticky-tack push-off. And so it'll be so Santa Fe will. They have a free kick. They don't do much with it. They just kind of boot it up the field a little ways, and so the Hilltoppers pick it up. Now the kick's going to come down the right sideline, come there to Jack Joseph. Joseph brings it back to Shane Monson. Monson can't do anything with it, and so they're just going to roll it back into Santa Fe territory. Santa Fe's going to try to start over, but stolen away this by the Hilltoppers by Nick Mazorski, or Wesley Parker, that is. And Parker now with a beautiful kick downfield and coming in from the right side of the penalty box and then trying to get to it there for Los Alamos, but could not get to it, and that was Isaac Ortega. And so the ball is picked up by their goalie, and so Ethan Ernest with the kick upfield. And now the Hilltoppers return it way back upfield. Nobody down there for Los Alamos. One bouncer comes right to Ernest, and so Ernest now will kick it away. So Santa Fe playing with a little more intensity right now. They are down a goal, and so they need to do something. So they are kind of like trying to get something moving as they bring it up now to. Well, we have a number 2 on Santa Fe. Don't have a number 2. It drives me crazy. It's hard enough to get these rosters as it is. It'd be nice if they were correct, or at least had all the players on them. So Jaime Terraz is trying to bring. He's up there all by himself, and so he's just kind of rolling the ball through the fullbacks over to Ernest, the goalkeeper. Now Santa Fe coming down in a hurry. There's a shot taken to the right side. That's going to be over the end line, but it's going to be deflected by Jackson Martinez. And boy, I mean, that boot that time, I mean, he really put his, and that was Kieran Smeltzer, and boy, he put his foot into that one. So it's going to be a corner kick now for Santa Fe, and let's see if I can see who is in that corner. Yeah, over in that corner is Jack Joseph. Joseph is going to bring it into the middle of the pack and bat it away by still battling with it. And so I think we do have a score, as there's a header attempt by Santa Fe. And let's see, that young man, as he might have been that big striker for them. Let's see if I can, and I'm pretty sure it's Roman Del Rio. And yes, Roman Del Rio. And it came into the pack, and said so. No, I'm correct. That's not Roman Del. Yeah, it is Roman Del Rio. So Roman Del Rio, they were all packed in there, and it was a high kick. It was a great kick that time by Jack Joseph. Came right to up into the middle of the goal mouth there, but high, and so high in the air went Jackson Martinez. He batted it away. But that brought it down into traffic, and then everybody was Hilltoppers were trying to get it out of there, and Santa Fe was trying to get it in there, and then finally the ball got popped up and came right to Roman, and Roman was just a little soft header and put it in, and so now here that's score coming in the 45th minute, and so it's now a 1-1 ball game. Los Alamos on the attack again. Aaron Phillip with it for Los Alamos. Going to bring it out top to Jaime Terrazas. Back to Phillip. Shot taken, and the ball is loose. But, boy, Hilltoppers, the shot was taken by Jaime, and so it was blocked away by Ernest. But he tried to catch it, but he couldn't, and so it got away from him. So then there was a scramble for it. Los Alamos had the opportunity, but they couldn't do anything with it. So they get a corner kick, and so they actually make a corner kick. They just simply a little soft kick inside, and then try to, pull a little sneaky beaky and do something else. But instead of the classic corner kick, they decided to do something a little different, and that was not successful. So down the left sideline come the Hilltoppers. Hilltoppers now are going to steal it away. It's going to come, and Aaron Phillip with the through ball up to Jaime Terrazas. Terrazas trying to keep it from going out of bounds over on the right sideline, about 10 yards up from the flag. Jaime still with it, and this one's going to go over the end line. So we're going to have a corner kick for Los Alamos, and let's see. A lot of times they put. See who they're going to send over there. Looks like Jaime Terrazas is going to take it. Nick Mazorski does a lot of that action, but so Jaime ready with the kick is going to come down. Well, about 5 yards out from the goal mouth, and then, but nothing really there for Los Alamos. They had no chance whatsoever with that one. So the ball goes over the end line off of Los Alamos, and so it's going to be a goal kick for Ethan Ernest. Ethan, big husky kid, and he boots it up. Kind of a line drive, comes down into the center circle, picked up there by Los Alamos. Los Alamos will. Well, let's see now what's going on. The official stopping play. Okay, they're going to say Los Alamos called a push-off on Los Alamos. Santa Fe free kick. Comes down to the top of the penalty box, picked up there by Los Alamos. Long kick upfield. And this one is just going to, there's a lot of boot on that one. And that one's going to just roll up to Ethan Ernest. Ernest will scoop it up for Santa Fe. Now he's just standing there holding the ball and looking upfield. He's in no hurry. And they're not in I've seen goalies before just actually try to stall it away if they're ahead in the end of the ball game. They start to go to the goal kick, and they're going to kick it from the left side. Then they decide to kick it from the right side, and back and forth. And so a little quick shot goes at Ernest. He just lets it go by and goes out of bounds on the left side of the goal. So it'll be a goal kick. 1-1 ball game here, and so right now we're in the 49th minute. 2 40-minute halves. Throw-in comes now into Aaron Phillip. Phillip having a little trouble getting control, gets it up to Callum Mitchell. Mitchell has it stolen away from him, and then it comes back to Aaron Phillip. Phillip's going to bring it over to Nick Magorski. Magorski on the dribble, or is that, it is Magorski. Magorski trying to get something set up, and he just ended up in traffic. He usually moves he's very quick and a very good ball handler. So it's cleared out by Santa Fe right at the flag right in front of us. That's the neutral side of the field, opposite where the teams are. And so they're going to bring it in now to Callum Mitchell. Mitchell trying to find somebody to give it to, and he's going to bring it all the way back into Hilltopper territory, about 10 yards deep, right in the middle of the field. And now the Hilltoppers bring it up. They get it up to, right now, up to Jaime Terrazas. Terrazas coming, the pass coming down to Aaron Phillip. And Phillip is going to lose it over the end line, or is it going to be a corner kick? Well, let's see. They're pointing both directions. They're pointing at the corner, and they're pointing at the goal. And they finally decide, okay, it's going to be a goal kick. So Ethan Ernest will make the goal kick. And couldn't get much on that one, so the Hilltoppers pick it up. And so I think we're going to have let's see, the ball went out of bounds, but I think they may be calling, yes, I thought they were going to be calling a push-up on Santa Fe, and it's exactly what they do. Sam Sirigliano with it for Los Alamos. Beautiful kick comes into the right side of the penalty box, and the Hilltoppers cannot get to it, and boy, charging down there in a hurry for Los Alamos that time. And that was Tai Hinojosa, but he couldn't catch up with that ball. 1-1 ball game, or Ethan Ernest. We are in about to enter the 52nd minute of this ball game. So we still have about half hour to go at least. And so Santa Fe trying to work down that left sideline, trying to get it up to Roman Del Rio. Del Rio has it stolen away from him, and then Los Alamos clears it upfield, picked up there by Santa Fe. Now there's just a loose ball in the center circle, and then coming back to pick it up for Los Alamos is Aaron Phillip. Phillip will come down the left sideline, pass over to Alex Lipskew. Lipskew coming in from the left side of the penalty box, crossing pass. Nobody there for Los Alamos. Nothing but white jerseys for Santa Fe. And the Hilltoppers clear across to the other side of the field, knocked out of bounds by Santa Fe. Hilltoppers will inbound it 20 yards deep into Santa Fe territory. They'll work down the right sideline. They bring it out to the top of the penalty box. Aaron Phillip goes down, but nothing called. And so Santa Fe trying to bring it up, and well, it was kind of a half-hearted attempt. Hilltoppers really didn't drop anybody back to speak of, and Santa Fe didn't send anybody up. Now Los Alamos clears it upfield, and started to go. It was going to go out of bounds right at the flag, and Ethan Ernest goes running all the way over there to keep it. He right in that little center, that little half circle that they make the corner kicks out of. He got it over there and kept it alive. I'm not sure why, but he could have just let it go over the end line. So battle for it out there, and we're going to have a Santa Fe player goes down. We're going to have a push-off on Los Alamos, and the Santa Fe player is still down. That's number 2, and he's a mystery player. He's the young. We finally figured out who number 4 is, Los Alamos. Now we have number 2 on Santa Fe. So we're going to have a free kick as soon as the young man gets his shoe tied. And let's see, that's about okay. He's got that well tied, about three different knots in that one. So anyway, comes up to the end of the midfield circle, picked up there, long pass down the right sideline, trying to get to it. Ty Hinojosa picks it up to the right of the penalty box, brings it out, and chasing it down for Los Alamos now is Aaron Phillip. Phillip trying to get it back to Ty, cannot. Picked up by Santa Fe, long kick downfield is going to be intercepted for Los Alamos by Sam Sirigliano. Sirigliano brings it back up and goes across the end line, and they're going to say, I think it's just going to be a goal kick. I thought they might be trying to indicate offside somewhere, but nope. Ethan Ernest will put it down, and he'll make the kick. I think in a minute, let's see. Trying to see whether we... So the ball comes up to Abera Hatinga. Hatinga knocked out of bounds. They bring it inside now to Nick Mazorski. Mazorski with just a little short boot up the field. They bring it back to Mazorski trying to get something going, going to bring it down the right sideline, and coming in from the right side, and boy, a lot of traffic over there, and a shot taken or actually crossing pass. They were trying to get a centering pass, and that was blocked out of bounds by Santa Fe. And that was taken by Isaac Ortega, so they're going to send Jaime Terrazas into the corner. No, well, let's see, the official saying supposed to be a corner kick, I guess, yeah. So Jaime just put the ball down about 5 yards up from the flag, and then he just kind of booted it away, and the official stopped him, the side judge, waving his flag and telling him, no, it's a corner kick. I can't believe Jaime didn't realize he had a corner kick, so Jaime, once again, they just try to roll it out to one of his players, and then they try to get something going from there. It's going to come up now to Callum Mitchell. Mitchell's going to bring it over to Sam Sirigliano. Sirigliano down in the corner, knocked out of bounds away from him. Hilltoppers with a quick throw in. Callum Mitchell trying to get control. It goes off of one of the Demons out of bounds. Callum will throw it in quickly for Los Alamos, coming down the left sideline, and and that is Lenny Siviotsky battling with it for the Santa Fe player. Santa Fe player finally wins the battle, and kicks it out of bounds. Hilltopper's about 25 yards up from the flag on the left side of the field down that right sideline, and so Callum Mitchell makes the throw in for Los Alamos. Now the Hilltoppers are about 10 yards up from the flag, and they'll throw it in again, but Santa Fe steals it away, and starting to come up Jack Joseph was going to take off. He had it all lined up to head down that right sideline, got the ball too far in front of him and lost it out of bounds, rolled away from him. Centering pass by Los Alamos, deflected away by Santa Fe, and so the Hilltoppers quickly will inbound it. They bring it in now to Nick Mazorski, and let's see. Okay, they have to stop play because we're going to have a substitution here. So the Santa Fe Hilltoppers can make the substitution. Santa Fe also. So let's see who comes in here for. Is that coming in here for Los Alamos? Okay. That's John Teague. So John Teague checks into the ball game for the Hilltoppers. Comes up to Nick Mazorski. Mazorski in the center circle is going to get it over to Hatinga. Abera brings it right back to Nick. And Nick working with it. Now we'll bring it over on the right sideline. About 10 yards out from the penalty box. There's a shot taken. And the ball gets knocked away by Ernest by the goalie, but it gets away from him. And I do believe, that was Jaime Terrazas, I do believe, or was it Sam Sirigliano? They both came in. There's a hard shot taken from about 10 yards out from top of the penalty box. Ethan Ernest batted it away, but then it rolled away from him. It was kicked in, and so once again I have the trouble of who picked that up. And of course we have to at some point try to figure that out. But anyway, so I don't know if it was Sam Sirigliano or Jaime Terrazas. We'll check later with my good buddy John McHale. He will know. But that one coming in the 58th minute of this contest. So the Hilltoppers now about 2-1. And we've got a little over 20 minutes unofficially left in this contest. Down the left sideline. And Santa Fe is going to, I do believe, lose it. But Santa Fe's saying, no, it's ours. So I thought it was off of Santa Fe. Let's see who's going to finally get this. All right, so they're indicating, I'm not sure what, just a lot of, okay, so finally Los Alamos makes the throw in, and the Hilltoppers boy charging down the field in a hurry. And John Teague, boy, I mean, he really put on the afterburners, and then right next to him was Lenny Sibiatsky. So the Hilltoppers, they looked like they were going to try to mount some kind of an attack, but they couldn't get through. Comes now over to Phil Delzano. Delzano's pass upfield is stolen away. Comes up to Callum Mitchell. Mitchell trying to steal it away, and it's going to be. And the last second, Jorge Lozano comes in, and they're going to say it was off of Callum, out of bounds. So there'll be throw in by Santa Fe. And we're going to have a substitution for the Demons. And checking out will be Jack Joseph. Joseph was the one with that beautiful corner kick. And then he's going to be replaced by Boone Schaefer. So Santa Fe with the throw-in. We had a major handball on Los Alamos. That was Alex Livescu. And boy, I mean, he just flat dribbled it, and there's no two ways about it. No call. Comes up now to Jaime Terrazas. Terrazas still working with it and kind of rolling around with it and handling it, and then he finally puts it through a double team, splits the double team of Santa Fe, but then it is picked up by Santa Fe further down the field. Comes up now to Roman Del Rio, right at midfield, and then Santa Fe trying to get something going. They move it over to the left side of the field. Stolen away there for the Hilltoppers by Nick Mazorski. Mazorski passed down the right sideline. And that's going to go out of bounds. We're going to have a substitution for Los Alamos, and it looks like, yes, and so Phil Delzano is going to check out of the ball game. And then coming back in for the Hilltoppers will be Aaron Phillip. So Aaron, the junior forward for Los Alamos, and now the Hilltoppers on the attack once again. And they take a long shot from just to the right, almost to the right, even with the right sideline of the penalty box, trying to take it over to the left side and just knocked out of bounds and it goes over the end line off of Los Alamos. So that makes it a goal kick, and Ethan Ernest will make the kick. 62nd minute, unofficially. Hilltoppers leading 2-1 in this ball game. So Santa Fe picks it up. They're going to bring it up, trying to get something going. They try to get it up now to Kieran Smelser, stolen away by Los Alamos. And here comes, Aaron Phillip down the field, and he goes down along one of the Santa Fe players goes down. Nothing called. They're just going to say, good old play on. So they just keep it going. So the Hilltoppers now trying to get this ball down Santa Fe trying to get it down the left sideline, and it's going to be picked up there by Los Alamos, and so the fullback for Los Alamos, and he just simply boots it back upfield. Going to come into the midfield circle, center circle, and the pass. Well, they're trying to get it up. Los Alamos almost was offsides, but Callum Mitchell battling for it. I mean, he's really battling with Boone Schaefer. Now they're battling again. The two of them just a lot of pushing and shoving. So let's see who they're. So suddenly they stop the play, and then it ends up going out of bounds off of Schaefer. Callum Mitchell battling with Schaefer again. Boy, it's just the two of them just battling to see who's going to win that ball, and so they just keep pushing and shoving, and finally the ball finally is cleared out and picked up by Santa Fe all the way on the other side of the field. They were working on the right side. Santa Fe will now try to come down the left side, and Hilltoppers, it comes into Hilltopper territory, picked up there. Now quickly up the field comes Los Alamos and John Teague, and the ball is going to roll into the goal for the score. And let's see, and the young man who's going to get the credit for that one is going to be Sam Sirigliano. Let me see, make sure that's Sam. But I'm pretty sure it is Sam Sirigliano. So they just came charging through, and I mean they just pulled out all the stops and just kind of came charging through, and got it over to Sirigliano, and then Ethan Ernest was out of position, so an easy goal for Sam, and that one coming. Let's see, that one coming in the 65th minute of this ball game. The Hilltoppers now lead 3-1, and we unofficially right now have under 15 minutes to go in this contest. So bringing the ball upfield, and in all kinds of traffic, Jose Lozano, and he finally has the ball stolen away from him, and then brought upfield by let's see, Santa Fe clears it out. It's going to be a Hilltopper throw-in. So the Hilltoppers will throw it in to. So the Hilltoppers now with the throw-in. Going to come over to the. Well, right now it's just a little ways out from the top of the penalty box. Pass comes over to the left side, trying to get it to John Teague. Teague can't get to it, and so cleared out of bounds by Santa Fe. And Colin Mitchell comes up for Los Alamos to make the throw-in, and he's 25 yards up from the flag on the left side. Battle for it in the penalty box, won by Santa Fe. They clear it out, and now the Hilltoppers have it once again. Comes to Nick Mazorski. Mazorski will bring it across over to Phil Delzano. Delzano pass upfield is picked up and then stolen back by Los Alamos, and now the Hilltoppers trying to get something going again. They bring it over to the right side of the penalty box, but nobody there except a white jersey, and he just picks it up easily, and that's Jorge Lozano. And Jose just kind of brings it upfield to nobody. So Hilltoppers pick it up easily in the center circle, and now they're trying to get something going. Stolen back by Santa Fe. Santa Fe we have one of the Hilltoppers go down, and so we're going to have a, well, no, and the official, well, he just says play on. Hilltopper got knocked on his butt pretty good, but their official apparently decided no harm, no foul or something, so Santa Fe continues to play. Santa Fe started to come down the left sideline, the Hilltoppers. Now they bring it all the way back into their own territory again. Now we will maybe try to start things off again here. And Santa Fe coming down the left side. Now they take the shot. This is blocked. They had a pretty good shot, but that was, boy, a great block that time for the Hilltoppers by Callum Mitchell. And so Callum is able to pull it down and bring it back up for Los Alamos. And now Santa Fe on the attack again. This one's going to come up to, up to Jackson Martinez. And boy, Jackson actually went down. And I thought that thing was going to roll into the goal, but Jackson was able at the last second to bat it over to past the right side of the goal. But it will be a corner kick for Santa Fe. Jack Joseph was a young man who made that corner kick before, but he is no longer in the ball game, so they're going to bring over the mystery player, number 2, and let him make the corner kick. So it comes right into the pack. Header attempt by Santa Fe. Los Alamos having a lot of trouble getting it out of there. Santa Fe still on the attack, comes to the right side of the box and goes off of Los Alamos, so it'll be a throw-in. 10 yards up from the flag on the right side of the field in Topper territory. Santa Fe with the throw-in comes to the top of the penalty box, headed out by Los Alamos. And then it's going to come all the way back to Jose Lozano. And so Santa Fe, everybody's on the Hilltopper side of the field right now. The only person out there is the goalie for Santa Fe. So Santa Fe trying to get something going. They brought everybody up and trying to get some kind of a power play going. And let's see, well, they started to lose it over the end line, but they do save it, keep from going over. And then it is stolen away by Los Alamos, and now coming up the field in a hurry. I mean, in a hurry, pass comes up to John Teague, gets away from John, and it's going to be cleared out by Santa Fe. And so Los Alamos, they'll get it to John. Teague will now make the throw-in for Los Alamos. And let's see, we got a couple of substitutions here. Checking out of the ball game right now is Isaac Ortega, and it looks like John Teague is also checking out. And coming in for the Hilltoppers is Alex Livskew. And let's see if I can pick up that other player here in a minute. And so, yeah, that was coming back into the ballgame for the Hilltoppers was Phil Delzano. Pass over to the right side, just to the right side of the penalty box. Hilltoppers trying to keep it from going out of bounds, cannot. Trying to chase it down for the Hilltoppers. Tahina Hosa cannot get to it. Pass by the Hilltoppers. The throw-in by Santa Fe, easily intercepted by Los Alamos. And now there's nobody hardly in the topper side of the field. So the Hilltoppers bring it into the center circle, straight up the field. It's going to roll over to Alex Livskew. Livskew trying to get a hold of it. There's a battle for it. Finally won by Santa Fe. And then Roman Del Rio was going to go for one of those little bicycle kicks, and then he runs into Nick Mazorski. And boy, I mean, and Roman is a big kid. And boy, Nick, he just went at him full blast. So the Santa Fe now with it, and they're going to bring it up to Boone Schaefer. Schaefer down the right sideline, and as he gets that pass up, it's going to go over the end line. Let's see who that's off of. And I believe it's going to be off of Los Alamos, I do believe. And so Here comes the mystery player, number 2, to make the corner kick. We are in the 72nd minute. Los Alamos leading by 2. But all lined up for the corner kick. There's all kinds of room in front of the goal. And Santa Fe really backed up into the penalty box, so I think we're going to Santa Fe's going to make a major charge, and there they do. And they try the header attempt, and this one is going to go, let's see, wide left. And so, yeah, they all wind up at the top of the penalty box, and then when it came time to make the kick, they all took off toward the goal, but the header goes wide left. So Los Alamos now will boot it away. Jackson Martinez, his goal kick, and kind of a line drive, comes down right at midfield, and so the Hilltoppers have passed down the right sideline and trying to get it up to Ty Hinojosa. Ty can't get to it. Going to lose it over the end line, or are they going to say no? He lost it out of bounds right before the flag. So Santa Fe will inbound it about 10 yards up from the flag in their own territory on the left side of their goal. So they just throw it in, kicked upfield by Los Alamos, out of bounds. So Santa Fe will throw it in once again. 74th minute, 3-1 ball game. Hilltoppers up by 2. And so the Hilltoppers with it now. Nick Mazorski gets it up to Jaime Terrazas. Terrazas with a quick shot. That's going to go wide left. And so Santa Fe will have the goal kick. So Ethan Ernest, their goalie, now will kick it away. Starts to go out of bounds and saved, and actually was saved in bounds by Los Alamos. And Los Alamos player goes down, so they're going to call a push-off on Santa Fe. Free kick for Los Alamos. Comes to in the right side of the penalty box. Everybody trying to get control. Nessum's going to go over the end line. It'll be a goal kick as we move into the 75th minute. 3-1 ball game. So Los Alamos right now in control for a while in that first half. And neither team was doing much attacking, and then finally Los Alamos was able to get the goal on a combination with Sam Sorigliano and Isaac Ortega. Now finally Nick Magorski coming down top of the penalty box right now, right in the middle of the field. Has the ball stolen away from him, coming down the left sideline. Santa Fe, really trying to get something going, roaring down that left sideline this time, and they bring it now. They center it. They bring it over, and they're trying to make a. He was trying to make a shot. He got it all. He got everything all lined up and ready to go for the shot, and then it was stolen away at the last second by Los Alamos. Long kick downfield, and we have a major push-off on Los Alamos by Jaime Terrazas. And are they going to call that? I think, well, no, they aren't. He just forearmed him out of bounds. No two ways about it. Comes up to Boone Schaefer. Schaefer of Santa Fe. Santa Fe will now bring it up to Kieran Smeltzer. Smeltzer trying to get it back to Schaefer. Schaefer can't chase it down. Hilltoppers will pick it up. Callum Mitchell will make the throw in. He's 25 yards deep into Hilltopper territory. Picked up there by Nick Mazorski, and now a boomer. A boomer downfield by Callum Mitchell. Boy, he really put his foot into that one, and nobody ready for it. Sailed over all the fullbacks' heads. They were playing up, but they were able to get it back and get control of the ball. The shot by Callum not long enough to get into the penalty box, so the goalie was really not involved in this. So Santa Fe gives it to Boone Schaefer again. Schaefer centering pass, trying to get it to Roman Del Rio, stolen away by Los Alamos. Picked up. They'll bring it back. Santa Fe in their back to Jorge Lozano. Lozano will bring it over to the left side. Now Santa Fe starts to bring it into the middle of the field, and boy, Sam Sorigliano says nothing doing, but and Sam all of a sudden he gets pushed down. Well, there's a lot of pushing and shoving, and this official, I mean, I think he's ready to go home because he's not calling anything. And so we are now entering the 78th minute. See, the 77th minute. No, we're in the 78th minute at this point. And but there's an awful lot of pushing and shoving and forearming, and he's just essentially not calling anything anymore. So Hilltoppers on the attack again. Shot taken. This is going to go wide left. Left-footed kick that time by Aaron Phillip. That's going to go wide left. That'll make it a goal kick. 3-1 ball game. Los Alamos completely under control in this one, as we only have about 2.5 minutes left unofficially, and Hilltoppers up 3-1. So that's a pretty good hole to dig out of when you're playing soccer, down by 2. So the Santa Fe Hilltoppers on the attack, trying to line it up. Shot taken and good, and doing it all by himself. Jaime Terrazas. I mean, he was the only topper up there. There wasn't another topper anywhere even close. So he just got the ball himself and just kind of dribbled through a couple of fullbacks, and then had that left-footed shot, and Ethan Ernest couldn't do a thing about it. And so that score coming right unofficially, right at the 79th minute, or right at the end of the 78th minute. So unofficially, the clock has stopped now, so unofficially we're in the final 2 minutes of this ball game, and Hilltoppers leading 4-1. It's interesting because they won that ball game against Capital the other night after a 0-0 first half. They won that 4-0. It was a 1-0 ball game at half here. Hilltoppers were up, and now Santa Fe came back and tied it 1-1, but then the Hilltoppers have put in 3 unanswered, and long kick downfield, and it's just going to roll right to Jackson Martinez. Jackson now telling everybody, go upfield. And he puts a moon ball up, comes down in the center circle, picked up by Jaime Terrazas. Well, that was a beautiful play by Terrazas. He was all by himself. Now we have Jaime going down along with one of the Santa Fe players, and now the official is going to is over talking to Jaime, make sure Jaime's okay. Jaime a little slow getting up. So Nick Mazorski he wastes no time on that free kick. And so pass down up to trying to get it up to Phil Delzano. Going to come over to Aaron Phillip. Phillip brings the pass up, and to John Teague. And Teague, trying to keep from going to the end line, cannot, but he was, he had a fullback with him, absolutely step for step, and so there wasn't a whole lot he could do. So we are unofficially in the final 2 minutes of this contest. Hilltoppers leading 4-1 over Santa Fe. So last week we came over here and broadcast this game, and there it is. There is the whistle. And so that will end this contest. Hilltoppers taking this one 4-1. So dominating Santa Fe right now. They defeated Capital last week 4-0, and then a nice victory here tonight 4-1. And that addition of Jaime Terrazas, he's very impressive, and I'm not sure what the situation. We didn't know who it was, and we were told finally at halftime that he was had been added to the roster just today, and he was a pretty impressive young player, I must say, and scoring that final goal. It was just him all by himself. he just came down and just kind of worked his way through the fullbacks and got that left-footed shot open and let it fly. And the Hilltoppers win this one 4-1. So that's going to wrap it up for us here. The situation, let me see, for the week is, let's see, tomorrow night, John has just come. So anyway, John, so tomorrow night, nothing tomorrow, John. So we have Tuesday off. And what's that? Turn the light on, yeah. We have Tuesday off, and so Wednesday, thanks. And so anyway, so Wednesday night it'll be volleyball at home against Milwaukee, and that ball game will start approximately 6 o'clock, which means it could be anywhere from 6 to 7:30, but never know. And then on Friday and on Thursday, that's Wednesday night, and Thursday night we're planning on doing another volleyball game, and that'll be Espanola coming to town against Los Alamos. And then Friday night, Taos will come to Los Alamos and take on our football team. So we got a pretty good week still going here. 3 more games to do. So this is Gene Mortensen, and I want to thank you for tuning in. And final score is 4-1. The Hilltoppers over Santa Fe, taking this contest. And so have a great tomorrow, and you can even better to have a better Tuesday. All you have to do is put a little love in your heart. Don't forget to hug that penguin, but the most important thing you can always do is just be excellent to each other. And night-night, sweetie pie. I love you, sweetie. Boy, do I miss you, honey. Bye-bye, everybody.